guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little bit since I posted. It turns out I planned my return to YouTube at the exact same time that construction was planned for my house. So it's been super hard to try and plan something at the same time construction is going on the whole entire main floor of my house. So I apologize if you hear any banging, drilling, loud noises, and there's music playing downstairs that I can't control or do anything about, as well as random men singing along. I can't do anything about it. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. So for today's video, I actually have a new gecko. This is not like a new pet that I just decided to buy. I actually put a deposit down on her a long time ago. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 months ago. We wanted to make sure, the breeder and I, Courtney and I, wanted to make sure that the weather and everything was 100% safe, and the gecko was going to be at an appropriate size and health to be shipped properly without it being too concerning. So I just got her in today. I was gonna do like an unboxing right away, but as she did come in a little bit later than expected, I did open up the box just to make sure everything was okay. But I do still have it packaged up, so I am still going to show you guys the package and everything that was inside. So as you can see kind of here, there's a live animal sticker on the front. Courtney did an excellent job packaging her up for me. This is my first time getting an animal shipped before, so I was super nervous. And here she is. She's firing up a little bit. It's got her information on the front. She is a Grand Terre and Island mix, New Ami New Anna Island mix. It was her 6-month birthday yesterday, so she is officially 6 months old. So she is 6 months old. She's an absolutely adorable little gecko. I've been wanting one of these guys for the absolute longest time. She's got the cutest little peppering spots that are super pastel, pinkish and purple. And I don't know if you can see, if the camera will focus. She's got a little wishbone marking on her nose. She is the sweetest little thing. I absolutely adore her. I've decided to name her Wisteria. For those of you who don't know, wisteria is a purple flowering bush vine tree. There's quite a few varieties of it, but it's this beautiful purple flower, which kind of matches her pastel purple spots. She's not super fired up right now, but I've seen her fired up. Courtney's been sending me lots of pictures and videos of her. There she is. I'm super excited to have one of these guys. I've always wanted a Lychee. So now I actually have her quarantine bin right here. Let me just pull it up. I set this bin up a while ago. I don't actually have her full enclosure just yet, but I'd rather her start off in a small bin before I put her in a Bioactive larger Exoterra, just to make sure she's eating and pooping and everything. I'd never recommend when you first get an animal, especially a small gecko like this, to put them straight into a larger, more bioactive enclosure. You want to make sure everything is alright and monitored well. She's 23 grams right now. She went straight in there. So she isn't super tiny, but she's small enough where I want to make sure everything is going okay before I upgrade her. So this is like just a little 5-gallon bin right here. So it's got to hide some foliage. Kind of show you, it's very simple. I don't want too much in there. She's not gonna spend a whole lot of time in there. Gonna give it a bit of a spray. So that is Wisteria. I'm super happy to have her. And you guys will see lots more of her on my Instagram and everything if you guys follow me there. I also have a Lychee's care video that's going to be more of a collaboration style video between me and a few other people, where we really want to bring together a complete care guide for Lychee's to kind of break down some of the misinformation that I've noticed and we've noticed spreading around on YouTube for the past little bit, and just kind of like give people a more extensive guide on just how to properly care for these guys. Especially for people who are considering them, and just there's a lot of conflicting information, and a lot of it I've seen is just not good or completely wrong. So we're really going to work on trying to release something that we believe is going to be a little bit better and kind of reflects just how these animals should be properly cared for. I have that video coming up soon. I'm not sure how soon. It's a lot of information that's being compiled together. I am talking to a lot of people, tons of people actually, and getting a huge compiled form of information to put together. It'll probably be like a 30-minute video. It's not going to be like a short, easy video to edit and put together. But that's something I'm super looking forward to releasing for you guys. And yeah, now that I have a Lychee's, it's going to be a little bit easier to show you guys more footage and clips of everything that's going in it. And I'll also be putting a build of her full bioactive enclosure up too, as well. So that's Wisteria. She is, I don't know where she is. She was just here. She's probably gone and hidden. I'm gonna leave her to be for a bit. So that wasn't everything that was in the box. So Courtney was fantastic and also packed a leaf from Wisteria's old enclosure. This has a familiar smell, so I'm actually gonna add this to her enclosure right now. I forgot she packed this. So this will add a sense of security for the little baby. So I'm just gonna add this to her enclosure right now. That extra sense of smell will just help her like familiarize with her surroundings a little bit easier than it would be if she just came with absolutely nothing in an unfamiliar place. So I forgot she included that. That was really awesome. Thank you, Courtney. And she was even better. Courtney actually went ahead and got me some of Lychee's diets, Gecko formulas. So she got me 3. So I'm gonna put them out right here. So I have chewy fettuccine. It focuses. So this diet is from Lychee's, and this is specially formulated for Chihuahua geckos. What makes this diet different from a lot of other regular crested gecko diets like Pangea, Rapashi, this one right here is for Chihuahua geckos. I have a Chihuahua gecko named Groot. What makes Chihuahua geckos different than other geckos is that they require higher amounts of calcium in their diet. Without higher amounts of calcium, Chihuahua geckos can often suffer from kinked tails, underbite deformations, as well as, like, of course, MBD, which everyone knows about, but Chihuahuas often do suffer from it more severely than other geckos and do require more calcium in their diet overall than other geckos, especially females. Females will suffer badly if they do not have calcium in their diet. So if you don't have access to chewy fettuccine and you live in a different country, or you just can't get to it, because I know I'm in Canada and this is more easily accessible in America, and Courtney had to go through a little bit of trouble to get a hold of some of this. You can always do what I do, and when you switch out their diets and change the formulas, I always add a little bit more calcium to the food, and just do a little bit of sprinkle into the food to make the calcium ratio a little bit higher for my Chihuahua. And that'll also help as well to make sure they don't develop those kink tails and underbites that are very often commonly associated with Chihuahua geckos. But yeah, I'm super excited to get a hold of that. The chewy fettuccine right here. I've been looking for this for a while, I've been super excited. Can't wait to try it out. And the next one I have is I'm super excited about. This one is the Lychee Linguini. So this one is specifically formulated for Lycheeanus geckos. Now, another thing that people always often say about Lycheeanus geckos is they can eat the same things as crested geckos. No, they cannot. They cannot eat the same things as crested geckos. Fruit is just something that in the wild, they only eat fruit in the off season, which means protein becomes a really substantial part of their diet. Lychee Linguini by Leap and Lychees has a higher protein concentrate than the other diets that you would find, like just the Repashy crested gecko diet that's gonna have just mainly like bananas and papayas, and you can't just go and feed that to your lychee every day and just give them crickets once a week. This is a really good supplementation in between those off days where you're not feeding insects. So I'm super excited to try this. From what Courtney said, hers love it. Super excited to give that one a try. And finally, I have the Raccoon Risotto. So this diet is specifically formulated for all fruit and nectar eating geckos. This one is going to be a really good staple for my day geckos and chameleon gecko. This one is going to also be kind of interchanged with my Chihuahua's diet and my Lycheeanus' diet, because I always like to mix up all their diets pretty regularly. And of course, I just add protein and calcium as needed to make sure each one gets the proper nutrition. But this one is just another cool extra. But yeah, I'm super excited to try all of these out. So that's what Courtney sent me. And that was all that was in the package. All right, so I also decided, since I'm kind of unboxing and opening stuff here right now, I might as well open and unbox other things I got through the week that I just never opened. So I'll show you guys what other reptile supplies I got. So I actually got this box delivered from Stargazer Exotics, and I ordered some bioactive supplies for some of my tanks. Not a lot, just a few things. So here I have just kind of assorted natural kind of ground things. There's seed pods, acorns. It's just a bag of like assorted things I can use on the ground, biodegradables, things isopods and springtails will love to like hide in and kind of break down at their own pace. So I think that's super cool. And then something I also got is, I've heard a lot of people recommending Josh's Frogs, and I'm in Canada, so we don't have Josh's Frogs and we can't order from them. But Stargazer Exotics actually carries some things from Josh's Frogs. So I actually ordered 2 bags of their ABG mix. I make my own ABG mix, but I've heard some good things about Josh's Frogs ABG mix. Now this isn't a lot, and I have like 12 tanks to make. So obviously this is not going to fill 12 tanks. It won't even fill like a quarter of the tank behind me. But I thought it would be like a good kind of like supplementation to my own ABG mix and kind of like see how it works. I may even just put it in one of my 12 by 12 by 18s and just kind of test it out and give it maybe a review. And just kind of like see how I like it in comparison to my own. Or maybe change a few things in my own if I like this one more, or maybe just if I don't like this one more, let you all know what I think. So yeah, I got 2 bags of the Josh's Frogs ABG mix. And then I got 1 big bag of the Josh's Frogs bio bedding, because I've heard good things about that as well. And as you can see, it's just a smaller bag. This is obviously not going to do much. But I'm gonna try it out and mix it with a few other things that I have, like my current ABG mixes and stuff. But that's all I got from Stargazer Exotics. I actually really enjoy their store. They have a lot of bioactive products. I would have liked to have ordered more, but shipping from there to here is very expensive. And I don't have a lot right now to spare, but at some point I would actually love to order quite a few more things from them. But that's all for now. So that was my shipment from Stargazer. And I actually got, on the topic of dirt, I have a bag here of Arcadia Earth Mix. This is one of my favorite substrates. So I love using this. I use it for mixing things. I use it as itself. But this is by far, the Arcadia substrates are by far my favorite ones. I find they really just help with plant growth. They help with the cleanup crew. Overall, Arcadia products are just by far my favorite products. I also picked up another bag of Earth Mix Arid, also by Arcadia. This one is going to go in my leopard gecko's enclosure remodel. I already have Earth Mix Arid in there, but I'm changing out the substrate and replacing it with fresh stuff. I really enjoy this substrate. It's been working really good for my leopard gecko. She's been on it for about a year now, and I've had absolutely no issues, and it's super, super great. So I absolutely love it. I'm just doing a complete remodel of her enclosure, and I want to replace it with some fresh stuff. So I also have those two bags right here. Super great. And last but not least, a lovely package from Amazon, which I actually get to open up right in front of you guys. So this right here is just a thermostat. You always want to use thermostats for all of your heat pads, heat tape, whatever heating you have, thermostats are required. This isn't anything super expensive or fancy. This is just a $20 thermostat from Amazon. I'm going to be using this for my leopard gecko's temporary bin enclosure while her current enclosure is under construction for her remodel. I just want to say that these are fantastic for running maybe a single enclosure. Never, ever, ever, ever use cheap thermostats like the Inkbird ones or something like this $20 thermostat to run multiple enclosures. One enclosure only. Two if you're really trusting, but I would say one enclosure only. Do not hook this up to a whole rack system. Do one enclosure only. These are cheap thermostats. Get yourself something really good if you're gonna trust it with a whole row of enclosures. Otherwise, you risk it malfunctioning. You can have issues with fires, overheating. Please only use a cheap thermostat if you're doing like one enclosure. That way, at least you're getting heat regulation. There's no excuse not to use a thermostat. But that's my PSA for this video. Don't use cheap thermostats on whole racks. That is all. That's all this is for now, and that kind of closes off everything I have. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing and supply haul. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. I got lots of big things coming and I'm sure you won't want to miss it, and that's all for now.